Australians could be given the freedom to travel and avoid restrictions as part of a blueprint for reopening the country and eventually international borders. For more, we're joined by infectious disease physician Professor SANJAYA in Canberra. Thanks for your time this morning. A big incentive from the PM to get the jab.
Yes, Ali, it is, and this would be consistent with what we're seeing in countries like Germany, where over the weekend the federal law was passed saying that if you've had COVID in the last 6 months or you're fully vaccinated, you're essentially free from restrictions, including being able to travel and not having to quarantine when you come back. Now, I don't necessarily know if we have to go that far, because we know that even though the risk of transmission is reduced with a lot of these vaccines, a proportion still can get infected, so you might need some precautions in a returned vaccinated traveller. But yes, it's not a bad concept.
We see that the New South Wales Premier wants more than 5 million residents to be vaccinated before deciding on overseas travel. It seems to be that states are going it alone on this issue once again, when it should be a federal decision, shouldn't it?
Look, Hallie, it has been very confusing because quarantine traditionally has been a federal issue, but during COVID, a lot of power, particularly with hotel quarantine, etc., has been ceded to the states and territories. And we've seen, of course, the powers that the states and territories have had during COVID. So it is a complicated issue.
And that's the situation we could see here, because you've got some states that are so far ahead of others in vaccinating people. You could possibly be open to international travel in New South Wales, but not to Queensland. But I also want to ask you about this, because as we know, our athletes have been given priority access to vaccines. A Melbourne mum and her disabled son have been waiting for 3 months. Take a listen.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. How do you judge society? By how they treat their ill and vulnerable.
Yep, pretty true there. I mean, we have the supply. Is there any excuse why just 4% of disabled people have been vaccinated?
No. So disabled people are included in the phase 1A, 1B rollout. So really they should be a priority, because we want to keep people from getting severe COVID and keeping them out of hospital.
And just quickly this morning too, an 18-year-old trainee nurse in Brisbane developed blood clots weeks after getting the ASTRAZENECA vaccine. We don't yet know if there's a link, but still it's a concern, isn't it?
Oh, look, absolutely. And for whatever reason this has happened, we hope this poor woman is okay. But we are now giving 80,000 doses of vaccine a day. So, and a lot of them are going to be AstraZeneca. So a 1 in 100,000 side effect will start appearing. And of course, if it has been more than 3 weeks since the vaccine was given, as you correctly said, all other causes need to be investigated too.
So potentially not linked here. Always good to talk to you. Thanks for your time this morning.